Hi everyone, I'm Joshua Carl, your 2025 NTA student reporter, and here's all that happened during Showcase Week. We started early that morning at 8 o'clock, checking into the Holland Center. I checked in along with the national finalists and the lead ensemble, and I got to work right away, setting up my camera and capturing the lead ensemble in their first music rehearsal. Later that morning, I had my first meeting with the marketing team at Omaha Performing Arts. We discussed our roles for the upcoming week, strategies for social media and promotion, and I got to start my takeover of the Nebraska Center for Arts Engagement Instagram page. Hi, I'm Joshua Carl, and I'm going to be your student reporter for the 2025 Nebraska Theater Academy Showcase. I spent the rest of my day watching and capturing rehearsals for both the lead and showcase ensembles, along with getting a sneak peek into what the national finalists were performing in their medleys. Quick side note, who are the national finalists? Well, this group of 6 actors and 6 actresses are all competing for a spot to be nominated for the Jimmy Awards, also known as the National High School Musical Theater Awards. This program, established by the Broadway League in 2009, spotlights 2 nominees from each regional award program. The Nebraska Theater Academy is one of them, to be flown to New York for a week to participate in a rigorous theater intensive. This all culminates into a one-night-only showcase at the Minskoff Theater, where 110 students will take the stage and compete for various awards and scholarships. And in the end, the Best Actor and Best Actresses awards are handed out. And if you don't know who's going, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You just have to watch until the end of the video. Later on, we got to meet special guest Q Smith, Broadway artist and Omaha native, who worked with national finalists on their medleys. And as the day came to a close, we checked out, got into the shuttles, and made our way over to the dorms. We got our chance to rest as we prepared for... We started our day with breakfast at the dining hall across the street, and I got to enjoy some waffles, which were very good by the way, and we made our way back to the Holland to start rehearsals, showcase some vocals, lead and choreo. And during lunch, I got some time to capture some interviews and get insight into how the ensemble members were feeling. And afterwards, everyone attended a masterclass held by Q Smith, where people got up to perform audition cuts of their songs, and she gave advice based on song choice and their performances. And later on, Q Smith got to sit down with the national finalists and the lead ensemble to help them make choices on future audition songs. And then later, the national finalists got to participate in private interviews with the NTA staff about being selected for the Jimmy Awards. More rehearsals later, and we're back in the dorms to prepare for day 3. I started my day by sitting down with Maria Cade, a reporter for Omaha's WOWT station. She interviewed me about my role as a student reporter for NTA, along with my goals as a finalist for the Jimmy Awards Student Reporter Initiative.
And take my skills into the real world.
And I also got to pick her brain as a member of the journalist world and get to see what her daily life in the field is like. This is also when things started to ramp up for the showcase. Schools who had earned the Outstanding Production Award for their musicals were making their way up to the Orpheum Theater to rehearse their songs with the tech and orchestra, including my school, Lincoln Southwest, where we performed Brotherhood of Man from the musical with a really long name. Yeah, that one. I also got to watch Gretna East High School perform their song, but it wasn't long until we were on our way back to the Holland Center. I got some more footage of rehearsals, but shortly after, we were on our way back to the dorms for another night's rest. But before I relaxed for the night, I sat down with some national finalists and showcase ensemble members to get some insight into their experiences throughout the week.
I'd most look forward to being able to work with industry professionals.
I hope to work with a lot of new people that I haven't worked with.
I hope to gain not only a ton of experience with musical theater, but I'm also gaining a lot of brand new friends and people that I can learn from.
Going off to college, I'll lose a lot of connection with people, but I want to make a lot of memories while I'm still here.
Day 4 started off a little differently, as instead of going to the Holland Center, we made our way to the Orpheum Theater. At this point, everything was pretty much down for music and choreography for all of our ensembles, but now they got the chance to rehearse them on the Orpheum stage itself. Since the rehearsal schedule was a bit more spread out to give tech more time to work with our ensembles, there were a couple workshops happening in the Orpheum as well. One was a dancing workshop where you could learn some hip-hop movements, and the other was a marketing panel, which I actually co-hosted with my new OPA marketing friends. Here we talked about media training and PR and promoting yourself as an actor, along with some interview exercises where people could volunteer to be interviewed by me. And yes, it was a challenge for me too. At this point, everything was settled, the award presenters were making their way in, and we hunkered down in our dorms one last time to prepare for... We got to sleep in just a little longer, but it wasn't long before we had to say goodbye to the dorms and haul all of our luggage into the Orpheum dressing rooms. After we got settled into the Orpheum Theater, we got to attend a Q&A hosted by Kevin Morrow, Omaha native and Broadway artist currently in Floyd Collins in the Lincoln Center Theater. And it was at this point where we were gearing up for the dress rehearsal, where I got all my camera and equipment ready to record some performances. And I got a lot of pictures. Here's a few of my favorites. Once we wrapped up eating, we went down to the dressing rooms to prepare for the red carpet. At 6 o'clock, the floodgates opened, and on the other side of the red carpet was Me. One of my duties as student reporter is before the showcase, I get to interview people on the red carpet to get a feel for their pre-show jitters and what they hope to gain from NTA this week. I posted these back to back on the Nebraska Center Instagram story, but it came time and we had to go down to the dressing rooms one last time to prepare for the actual show. At this point, I gave my tear-jerking farewell address on the Nebraska Center Instagram story, and then I geared up, mic on my face, ready to perform. And of course, I would not be doing you justice if I didn't list off all of the award winners during the showcase. So, here we go. And last but not least, our national nominees who will be representing NTA in New York City to compete for the coveted Jimmy Awards are